Welcome everyone. Welcome Rachel. Thank you for coming on the show. This is Agencies Talk, where we talk about everything marketing agency, especially right now where everything's developing. It's really good to have experts like Rachel coming on the show to talk about different aspects and kind of developments within the industry, which are happening every second, I want to say. So welcome, Rachel.
Thanks for having me. So good to be here. Nice to see everybody.
Yes, and I see your stuff all the time. You and Josh kill it. I think you're doing just a phenomenal job on LinkedIn. So why don't we just launch into that? What do you do on LinkedIn, Rachel?
Well, what do I do? Like, what the heck am I?
There you go.
I'm like, who are you? Well, I'm more than just Joshua Bailey's wife. I actually been something way before him. I'm your branding lady boss. I am here in Austin. And my career is actually really one of working for other people, mostly working at an agency. Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes.
I worked at an incredible agency called Walton Isaacson. So really doing culture marketing, multicultural marketing, and still very close. My dad is the CFO of that company now. And then I got my MBA at UT Austin, Combs School of Business. So unlike my husband, who's a total natural born entrepreneur, I'm the person with 2 degrees, masters, and that opportunity let me transition into the corporate world. So I was doing corporate marketing at Microsoft and Gartner, and not only corporate marketing, I was doing more CPG work, more on that B2B side, really thinking about technology and software and businesses. It's almost 2 years actually that I left Gartner, part of the Great Resignation, was like, I'm done. I had all the feelings inside that, Josh and I were talking about it for a while, and joined forces with my husband, Joshua Bailey, and StandOut Authority. And so, yes, we're LinkedIn creators. Yes, our primary vehicle is LinkedIn for what we do, but what we are trying to do is really humanize marketing and to really bring human conversation and human connection back to online marketing. And we think the most powerful vehicle for business professionals and to have a business conversation with a business-minded individual is on LinkedIn.
No, and I completely agree with that. And I love the whole message about the H to H, the human to human marketing, because it is more important than ever now, since so many people are relying on, just like Michelle was saying, a chatbot for Facebook responses, which, on the surface sounds like a great idea, but I think the amount of training that would have to go into a system like that requires what you guys teach, which is, how do you actually explain the human to human connection and kind of start to get away from just focusing on the product or just focusing on the service, or even just focusing on all we talk about as the customer avatar. So how do you kind of make that transition from, just the basic interaction that you have with your clients or customers and turn it into more of a human interaction?
Well, I think there's really easy things that we all can do online and on social media that are sort of getting sidelined by, let's be real with each other. The last 10 years, marketing has changed so fast and so dramatically. The last 20 years, you could say too, right? Since 2000s, right? The pace of change being in the digital revolution. Yes, artificial intelligence, we all know, hey, this has been around for a while, guys. AI is not a new conversation. It's really funny that it's back in the headlines. But AI has been in process and works for well over a decade with Microsoft and IBM and into all these companies. You know what I mean? IBM Watson, so what's happening though is that technology is moving so fast, and marketers in particular really are trying to grapple with using that technology and show return on investment, right? People are on us to show actual conversion and metrics behind the marketing that we're doing, right? And we're also going through a ton of economic uncertainty, blah, 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 right? We've had like this ginormous like shitstorm placed on our, all of this global shitstorm onto our plate the last few years. And so I think when you think about like pace of change, right? The fact that marketing can't keep up, and the fact that like societally we have all these things happening, it's a really wake up call for us marketers and agency owners. Josh and I have taken a really strong stance in saying we are tired of the mass marketing. We are tired of the, hey, Rachel B messages. You know, we're tired of getting thousands and thousands of emails that are impersonal, that are spamming me. I mean, the amount every single day, literally before this, I just had to report 3 phishing emails. Every day I'm unsubscribing. And so every single day, because people are scraping my email address on LinkedIn, I'm getting the, hey, Rachel B, people are pitching me. LinkedIn experts, branding people are pitching me. You know, and Josh and I always laugh about that. We're like, you didn't even for a second look at your search or who I am. So, you know, what can we do? Like, I don't know, when you go up to somebody in real life, do you go pitch yourself? Like, don't you like, if I meet you, like, hey, Mark, where do you live? Tell me about your kids, like, get to know somebody. And so we sort of like lost sense of what it is to have a human conversation online. But we all know here, especially the people I can see on this call, you're not my 13-year-old or my 10-year-old stepkids who literally struggle with human conversation because they're used to voice text. They're used to speaking through a gaming device. Like my son would rather talk to his friend and play Minecraft or Roblox, and instead of being with him in person, he'd rather be talking virtually. So we really have a lot of work to do because we're also really angry and there's a lot of societal pressures happening. And so I think there's nothing that will ever get old from the human to human conversation and interaction. And so what we're tasked to do, each of us, is to actually bring that into the marketing that we're doing. So even if you're just talking about bots, right? Like, yes, we need to use bots, especially if you have a product, large scale company, enterprise, like anything, right? Bots are very important for many businesses. However, where is the pass off from that bot to a human? Who is training that bot? Is that team diverse? Are they ethical? Are they trained? Not just on the product and on getting a lead, but on accessibility and diversity and inclusion and all these. So we, the humans, get to do that and then figure out what is that time, the augmentation from, you know, a chat conversation with a bot to a real human. Like we can't lose sight of that.
No, it's fantastic. And you touched on so many awesome points. You know, the email situation I especially identify with because I looked, you know, I was out of town for 20 hours and I have 200,000 emails. Like literally it's 200,000. And so, you know, cutting through the noise in that I think is becoming more important than ever. And really with email, I don't check it as often as I used to. I used to have it up, like one screen was my email and then everything else I was working on was every other screen. But now I don't even look at it maybe twice a day because of the inundation with sales emails. So just in terms of your guys' process, how are you recommending people get through that specific noise on email marketing?
Well, I'm curious just from the people in here, do you all have that similar sentiment, you know, with email? Are y'all emailing? Like, I'd love to just, even in the chat, just have a sentiment. High five if you're doing emails, like anything, give me something. No? Okay. They're not with me, Mark. Okay. Well, we at StandOut Authority have several thousand, you know, large list, which we didn't buy any of that, right? Mark, one of the things that we do and that we practice with our clients is we use LinkedIn events. Have y'all ever experienced a LinkedIn event? So it's sort of this like really magical tool that allows you to require registration, right? As long as you have the event coming from your company page, when you create an event, somebody can opt in using their email address, name and email address, right? And then they, click the button, you're okay with me. You decide if you're okay with the person sending you email. And so for us, this is like organic marketing magic. And I do want to just caveat, StandOut Authority focuses on organic marketing. Everything on LinkedIn is 100% optimized for SEO. So we think about ourselves as an organic marketing strategy company, not paid. Although Josh started his career in online advertising, I've done mass digital media campaigns with Microsoft and Gartner. So we can speak to it. We believe for what we are doing and connecting at a human level, the organic marketing is the most powerful thing to do, especially because we know all the shitstorms that are going on right now with, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, etc. for paid advertising. But I don't want to digress too far. So when we use a LinkedIn event, Josh has an audience at this point over 70,000 people. I have an audience of almost 15,000, which I've been steadily growing and really excited and proud of that. And Josh is too, right? Which we've grown organically. Organically, we have done that. Okay. In fact, Josh's following was about 25,000 less than 2 years ago. So that's a pretty enormous amount of growth organically to create that. And a really powerful tool that we use is LinkedIn events. So we collaborate on our events. In fact, we have one coming up on April 19th. We also have our partner Blue Jeans by Verizon that has been our partner the past few months. So we use their tool. And when we get we do always an opt-in. And we work it really hard. So if you want, Mark, I can give a few tips on working your LinkedIn event really hard. All of those people that opt in, which we usually get at least 300, we've had up to 500. They all opt in. Those are all my email addresses. I've invited them. You can only invite people, by the way, to your event if you're connected to them. So they're already warm. Think about that, right? Mm. These are people, Josh and I are collaborating. So it's really great to have co-speakers, if not multiple speakers. We are inviting from our list and we look to say, hey, this is a more marketing conversation. You can actually filter and just invite the marketing people in Rachel's list, the marketing people in Josh's list. So invite our people with that first degree connection. And then we get all of those email addresses. That's organic email addresses. After we've done, I don't know how many events, honestly, at this point, dozens since us coming together the last 2 years, we have generated thousands of email addresses, thousands. And we didn't pay for them, right? And they're all warm because they're all connected to us. And when you connect with us, guess what? We don't pitch you. We appreciate you. We invite them to our event. We thank them for being a part of our community. So they really feel the love from us. So the list is really, really beautiful.
That's fantastic. Well, I love the concept of the LinkedIn Live events because, really nowadays I tell people to hit me up on LinkedIn versus send me an email. Or I'll say, if you send me an email, tell me about it on LinkedIn because there's a good chance I'm not going to see it or it might get, spam filtered or whatever. So I love the live LinkedIn events. Do you have tips
Let me just make a distinction. I just want to make a really important distinction on a LinkedIn Live event. Is that okay, everybody? You want that distinction? Okay, cool. A LinkedIn Live event, you can make that an event, meaning it's a live event and it has, an event page, and then you can invite people to it. When you do it that way, you are not getting email addresses, right? You can stream that live directly into the event holders itself. So actually the original intention, I worked with LinkedIn quite a bit when they first came out with LinkedIn events, was really for conferences, for like big companies, big conferences at events where you create a LinkedIn event, right? And only the people inside that event can see what you're streaming. Okay, which is a use case, by the way, great use case. We do not do LinkedIn Live events. When I go live, which I go live once a month, and I'm very consistent with this, and I just love all my guests, and they're amazing, and I'd love for you to check them all out. They're on our YouTube page. I do a promo post. I am consistent first Friday every month, 10 a.m. I've been doing that consistently for now almost 2 years. And I send an email like as a, hey, reminder, this is happening. And I just go live and I let the algorithm go live, push me to the top. When you do that, people connected to you or people have the bell will get a notification on their phone, Rachel's live, which is like, oh, that's amazing, right? Again, organic, free marketing. And that is how we actually like to use lives. We also have clients that have podcasts, and we have tested and seen, let's say you record a podcast live. You can like kind of fake it or actually go live and push that podcast, right? So it looks like you're recording the podcast or in that interview, and kind of use that in dual purpose, which is we all need to be repurposing and really being smart with the content we create. But Mark, that is a really important distinction in how we use live. Because when we do events, we want to get the emails, and we do those live, but we're doing them live on Blue Jeans by Verizon.
Fantastic. Right. Well, I think I would love to have you just walk through the whole process of StandOut Live, but before we kind of get into any demo stuff, because that's what I like to do at the end of the show, let's get some questions. And I know we have one from Celia. So let's start there. And actually, you could just unmute.
Hi, thank you. So there is a difference between live event that you're gonna talk and the other live LinkedIn event. That's the one that you collect the emails.
Yes, I think it might be helpful actually, Mark, to show.
Yeah. Did you want to show it on your screen, or should we just pull up my LinkedIn and I'll plan a live event right now?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I still need to do all of your tips, by the way. So if my profile doesn't look right, it is because I am lazy, and that's what happens. All right, here we go. All right, so everybody see my screen? Good to go?
So you can get to events a few ways, but let's just, if you go to start a post, you could go from here if you want. When you click that, do the 3 buttons, yep. And you see it create an event.
Create an event right there. Oh, I got dogs going.
So is it online or in person? You want to distinguish that, right?
Let's do online.
Okay, the event format, this is the fun part. So you see there's audio event, which we didn't even get into the audio event, right? Which was released in January of last year. So that's more like Clubhouse audio style. Then there's the live. You stream from the third-party tool, right? Or external event link. This is the one we use, external event link. Yep. And then, do you have your like DigitalMarketer or whatever attached to this?
I don't know if I do.
Okay.
Probably not. So I could probably just say, so if you do an extra, if I say LinkedIn Live, I'm literally going live right now.
No, you're going to put an event up for that time when you do go actually live.
Oh, okay. Well, we could do that. I don't have a third-party app right now, though.
But the external is what we use. You have to generate the event from your company page to have the option. Just put external event link and scroll down. Let's see if because it's coming from your personal versus your company. There normally, if it's coming from a company, we'll say, do you want to like collect like registration? And you basically
okay. Should I start from there? I can go to the DigitalMarketer page.
Should.
And there we go.
Yeah.
So if I go here and say create an event, event format, external link.
Yeah. You see use LinkedIn registration form.
Okay.
And so this is, and then obviously you put in additional speakers, right? And speakers are really helpful to expand your reach. Does that make
Nice.
sense?
It does.
Yeah, you kind of see the different ways. And audio events are kind of fun too, y'all. Have any of you guys attended a LinkedIn audio event? No, I
I
can't.
think I have accidentally. Is that possible? To see like a friend that's doing a live event and hear basically the event?
Well, it kind of comes up, it looks like Clubhousey, right? With like, it's on your mobile and it has the little box, like the little, you'll know if you're in an audio event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then probably not.
It's very distinct, right? There's no video. Although when they originally released, they said there would be video in the audio, but that has not happened yet. Anyways, audio events have, I would say, taken a little, like, as with everything, audio has sort of dropped as the world has opened up a lot more, and we've seen several different platforms. I think it was, which one? And Twitter Spaces is still going, but Facebook is kind of like offsetting, and I think Green Room with Spotify. So like, but LinkedIn has not, and LinkedIn loves audio because especially for a business professional, let's say you're at work and you have your desktop up, you could just listen to a cool conversation inside your people, maybe from your company or whatever. You don't have to like be on a video per se. So another kind of cool format to check out, audio, especially if you are good at engaging with people on audio.
Nice. Well, actually, would you mind if we created, or I could set up a LinkedIn Live on my personal page? Do you think we could just, because I have a subject we could use too. Could you walk me through the setup for that?
For what, LinkedIn audio?
LinkedIn Live.
So that means the same setup if you're creating an event. It's all the same. Yes.
Can we do one?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
I do. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll set up one for me, just because then I don't have to organize a bunch of stuff with the company. Yeah, so we'll go here, there, 3 buttons, create an event. And then I actually just created a video on my personal account that was about creating a featured image for an article using Midjourney. So it's kind of, I'll show this pull up thing for 1 second. We got Max Pin right there. There we are. All right, so we'll use this as the material.
Oh, are you wanting to push, like, what are you doing?
Well, this is just gonna be a demo of you showing me how to create an online event using
No,
whatever.
I know. Are you using that video for some reason?
Just for the subject, how to create article featured images with graphics.
I'm tracking with you, Mark.
So
Okay,
maybe
so
I'll just pull the subject. Let's start there.
A live event. Yeah, they're doing a live event called How to Create Article Featured Image. Cool, which that's a good title, y'all. LinkedIn, as I mentioned, is 100% optimized for SEO. So what that means is that your articles, your posts, and most importantly, your LinkedIn profile are indexed on Google search. So it's very common that you're going to see your LinkedIn article that do better in terms of Google, showing up on the SERP than the article on your own website, because it's LinkedIn and your website is not LinkedIn. So there's a lot.
And I will say too, like, because I've wanted to do one of these live events for a while, but I usually custom make everything on my website. So then I have to think in terms of like, okay, let me do the landing page, let me do the graphic, let me do all these different steps, and it adds hours, even with AI.
Yeah, you don't need to do that with, this kind of stuff. You just need a graphic at the top, which, for this purposes you don't have, but
no, actually I have a graphic.
Oh, well, maybe.
Let's grab the one from the thumbnail. Let's see if I have it. There it is. Ooh, actually, this one's better. Hold on. We just do a different subject, because I just did another one yesterday, and this was about creating your own AI consultant, which is like, I think it's pretty cool. So we'll use that one. Videos.
You're just a content king over here. Yeah.
This is my end of the day 15-minute task, and I shoot one of those quick videos. All right, so there you go. LinkedIn Live, we got our name. Ooh, and I almost maxed out on characters. That's good.
Yep.
Now, how much, what kind of lead time do you usually, because I know you have a set monthly live event, the first Friday of every month. Do you recommend that's the best way to run it? Or if I was just going to do this as a one-off, how much time should I give people to, see it and get involved?
Yeah, so we believe that for LinkedIn events, that especially if you're getting email addresses, you want to give yourself at least 3 weeks, if not more. I do think, LinkedIn Live, again, I don't do events for my LinkedIn Lives, but I think that is a little something more agile in some sense, right? But if you're looking to get people to RSVP and you're wanting to invite them, then you want to give yourself some time, right? So at least 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. But again, our best practice.
I'm anxious.
Yeah, if you're kind of like, I get the feeling that you want to do this soon. But with the way Josh and I and how we run this for our clients, y'all, again, using the more demand generation, coming from the company page, collecting those email addresses, we try to get our events up well 4 weeks at least. Like we have an event coming up on April 19th. We just got that up in the last week. And what we're doing is inviting 200 people every single day from each of our accounts. So we do a slow drip of inviting. You only have 1,000 invites every single week. So that's another thing to think about, Mark, right? Let's say that you happen to, and this was starting to get really complicated with LinkedIn audio events, honestly. They were part of the creator team. They wanted us to hold these audio events, but to invite people to our audio event, and then we would have our like normal event, virtual. We were maxing out our invites. We were just inviting too much. And that is something you really want to be cognizant, y'all, because there is overload happening on LinkedIn, because as LinkedIn has created more opportunities for creators over the last 2 years, more tooling, more people are creating on LinkedIn, which is great news. However, it is starting to get a little bit saturated, right? That's why we're seeing so many newsletters. And you're like, I can't handle another newsletter. That's me. I've actually unsubscribed to probably 10 over the last 2 weeks because I'm overwhelmed. And so I'm being much more selective. And the same thing with events. So this is not get on live like Instagram. I know on other platforms it might be, yeah, it's great to get on every day and do a live. I don't think that's best practice here. That's not what you need to do. So just be mindful. So Mark, let's say you were doing a bigger digital marketer event in April that you were driving emails and you wanted, I would be like, Mark, I really don't think you should distract your audience for this quick little live. Just go live. Don't create an event for it. You need to be driving registration because you want those emails to that big event.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. Just for practice purposes.
Yeah. Just this is like all the devil's in the details kind of thing when you do this, and how StandOut Authority, how we've done we've kind of mastered how to do it. And then speakers, is there going to be an additional speaker with this?
No, probably just be me.
Okay, so
what about description? Should it be, 5,000 characters? Do they expect you to write long form copy for this?
I say describe it as best, no, I don't think you should be at 5,000. Nobody has an attention span like that anymore. So,
well, I didn't know if there's some, no,
there's no magic. We, our descriptions are maybe, 500 characters, like we're not doing super lengthy. We try to make an attention grabbing, just like a post, attention grabbing, hit a pain point. And then here's what you're, join us on this day. Here's what you're going to get, a few bullet points, be sure to, register kind of a thing.
So pain point.
Just going to see also.
And then do you have, because I know at DigitalMarketer, we have a policy in terms of like, okay, we're doing an AMA event. We want to make sure we get these questions covered. And then we also have, we usually start the event with, hey, if you stay to the end, we're going to give you a bonus of about something. Usually it's like a worksheet or some component that we talk about. Do you recommend that for this type of thing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that like LinkedIn events is like a vehicle to do a great virtual event, right? Just like you think about, I'm doing this big webinar, right? And I'm driving paid marketing efforts to it. I'm streaming on Facebook, same thought process. This is just a vehicle. And so we do that a lot with clients where they're like, have a big conference going on, let's say. We say, well, let's put the conference as an event on LinkedIn. Or, hey, they're doing, there's a big social media summit, right? Virtual social media summit. Make that an event also on LinkedIn. It's just kind of driving additional, demand.
That makes sense. I'm just doing a quick, we'll do a little outline of what you produce, which is attention grabbing hook, pain point, and then here's where you're going to get. Do you have a specific structure for, say, a 1 hour live event in terms of like hook and summary and benefits, that kind of thing?
Sure. Yeah. And I just dropped in the chat our upcoming event. Of course, we'd love for you to be there, number one. But two,
Nice. We can actually see it. Yeah.
You can just get a feel from how, what ours looks like.
Nice.
Right? Really nice looking graphic. Josh and our faces are on there. This is, we have blue jeans, where it's coming from StandOut Authority. We used post schedule. I used actually to help us in creating some of that headline. And then here's, our description. So you should just get an idea.
Ooh, I'm just going to steal all your stuff.
I'm kind of nervous putting it through all the
Fine, LinkedIn.
these AI tools. I'm like, what's it gonna do, huh?
No, I'll face it.
So what your question though was?
Yeah, for the actual event itself, do you have a specific format?
Yeah, that is a great question. So I'm going to preface that this is an educational, especially because this is with our partner Blue Jeans by Verizon, this is more education focused versus like, we're here to pitch you on a product, right? Which, there's a lot of people that do those webinars that like are mostly like fluff, and then you get a big pitch, which I know that there's a time and place for all that. That is not what this is. And Josh and I have built a really great following, an authentic advocate-based following, because we really love to educate, inspire, and then draw them in. So when we're doing these events, really important for us is interacting with our audience. So when we're getting on, we are saying what's up to everybody. We're wondering where every single person is. So that's why we love using Blue Jeans Studio. It's really great chat features. It's polling, etc. It's really interactive. And we are pumping up our audience. Like we're highlighting our family, people who have come through, have our coin. We shout out, hey, Russ, it's good to see you. Hey, like we're really big on that. That's how we create our family. That's how we believe StandOut Authority. That's how you become a StandOut Authority, is in our way, is to be really human and loving and to showcase our family. So we always do that, which you'll see if you come. And then we have slides together, no more than maybe 10 slides, really delivering, what exactly is happening. Like this will be about employee advocacy, like what the fuck, what does that even mean, right? And what's happening, because things have really changed really fast with what's happening for people working at companies and then people hiring other people. And so kind of like, what are we talking about here? And then talking about personal branding. For us, it's really important that we talk about something we're also experts in and that are part of what StandOut Authority does. So we're not going to pick a topic that we speak about that isn't something we have experience in and can speak intelligently about. If we are talking about a topic that we don't, we're bringing in that guest, right? And then so we really educate, we give our perspective. Like our perspective is that what's missing in employee advocacy is that there's no personal branding, that companies are focusing on what they want employees to talk about, what to say, and they're not actually saying, what do you care about in person, human? How can we as a company actually support your goals and mission? Right. So like, that's our perspective on that. And the groundwork for that is actually advocating for them to build their personal brands. And then we'll conclude, we have our program launching. So we do have, hey, something where it's like, this is coming up. Please, learn more about it here. We do have some sort of CTA or giveaway. So Mark, to your point, like if you had whatever, like, yes, absolutely. We always have something as another bite to keep them on the journey with us, as any good marketer and agency owner would be doing.
Nice. Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Yeah, for me, I think I have my ebook. So that would be the next stage, I guess, would be, here's the book I wrote with AI, and then AI consulting, kind of all these together. Is this would be your conversion step, right? Getting people to the event and then you sell them on the program?
Yeah, I mean, this is the conversion, right? That's where there's email, and then depending on what it is, we're getting on calls. Like for what we do for our agency, everything is a call. And for our program, it's our StandOut Authority experience will also be a call, because it's $5,000 for 2 months. So it's priced, and it's the value is so high. We want to make sure that somebody's right fit for us. And then also that, that they know what they're, being a part of. So that is, it's kind of part of, it's one conversion point, right? I think getting people to show up, right? So if I have 300 people registered, y'all, event attendance has gone down during COVID. I'm sure y'all have experienced this. And Michelle, I see you kind of shaking your head, right? It was like, we were getting up over 30%. Now we're more around 20%. And that our 30% was pretty high against average. And so most people see about 20%, I'd say. And now we're seeing about 20-25% show up rate. So even if I got those 300 emails, I only had 20% of them show. So all the rest of those people didn't get to feel us, touch us, understand what's happening. We do take the recording. We do in case you missed it, email. We do let people watch that. We put it on our YouTube. So that's another thing that we do, right, is that follow-up in case you missed it. We also, guys, another fun tip, we do a follow-up message to every single person that registered. So that's why we have our engagement engine. That's why our work is very diligent. Literally, we have humans, real people on our team who are following up with 300 plus people and saying, thanks so much for attending. In case you missed it, here's the recording, right? And so and we also send a reminder message to all the people the day before, sending them the link. So they're actually they get an invite from us to invite them. Then they're getting a reminder via direct message to the link. And then they're getting a follow-up to watch that. So a lot of touch points. So Mark, when it comes to, okay, we have that program, or there is some sort of next step, we could see, are they responding to us? Did they say in that message, oh my God, I couldn't make it. I'm so sorry, I got caught up. Thank you for sending this. Ooh, that's somebody that's into us, right? Cool. That's a good person. Well, this might be a person I'd say, hey, since you didn't make it, love to tell you more about our program, right? See if you're interested in something. If they're not responding, we are not following up more. Again, back to where we started this conversation. Human conversation. You don't go up and just bug somebody, except for the kids. Sometimes Jaden does that to me. He's like really persistent, but in real life, you don't just keep messaging if somebody's not responding. And so we don't do that. We don't keep messaging if somebody is starting to not say a thing to us.
Gotcha. Now for the live event kind of pre-promotion, because I know you mentioned that you sent an email the day before to remind people that the event's coming up. Do you also do any kind of lead up posts or maybe like related organic content that leads into the event?
Totally. Yeah, I mean, now that you have an event up and you have a link for that, we do like 4 posts at least, but 2 from me and 2 from Josh that have like a direct, it's not a super promo email, promo post per se. We do like 1 of those, 2 of those, but we'll like talk about personal branding, and then the CTA in that post will be like, hey, we have this event, and we'll drop that link. And so for Mark, for your event, yeah, like when you do some sort of post on AI and you'd be like, you're probably wondering this, I'm going to cover all of this next week at this time, RSVP here, and you can drop that native LinkedIn link inside the post, y'all. A lot of people, as we know, right, when you put an external link inside of a post, sometimes the algorithm is less favorable. This is what we've been taught. Just in case, we don't do it. That's why we drop links in comments. But when it's a native link to LinkedIn, put it on the post itself.
Makes sense.
And so, yeah. And people see, for you, because you're not going to have that email list unless you were to scrape their emails, which of course we don't advise that, but we know people do that. You will just be DMing them.
Gotcha.
So this is
so when you say the DM, because I know you mentioned it was 200 emails a day you could invite to the event? 200 invites, and that's to LinkedIn friends or connections.
Well, now that you have your event up, where is the event? Put it back up.
Oh, here. What is it?
Let's just show the event up now. Oh, it's going to make you post. You don't have to. Yeah.
I'll just post the description. I already did. I didn't actually read it. I advise that everybody reads this stuff before you post things.
I mean, if you...
AI, digital marketing. There we go. Post. All right, so we got the post up. So now where do I find the event after I post it?
It's from you, or it's you, right? So go to the invite right there.
Ah, there you go. Invite.
So now here is your event, right? And you go to share.
And I think he looks like Ben Stiller, just so everyone knows. Everyone was saying Howard Stern. I guess Howard Stern does have the narrower face.
Yeah. So when you go to invite, but just go X out real quick, because I just want to also say that you see that there's a share for Facebook and Twitter.
Oh.
Like, there's no harm, right, y'all? Like, share it. Yeah. Same with your newsletters. You can share directly from here onto Facebook and Twitter. So just another thing, do that. Quick tweet out. So you could do that. Boom. Of course, you can customize that, but
no time.
No time.
Page, I gotta put this on my. I used to have an agency, and people have not removed me from their accounts, so I still have like 100. There we go.
I always wonder about that, because it's like literally the worst thing you could do from a security standpoint. Like, for a long time, I had access to things that, from social accounts of the company. And I was like, you're lucky that I am trustworthy and I'm not going to do anything stupid, but like.
You could, yeah, it's pretty interesting, because I tell these people, sometimes they don't even accept the invite to be an admin. So if I delete the page, or if I delete myself, I have to delete the page. It's terrible.
Yeah. So. Okay, so go to the invite.
All right, invite.
So y'all, you see where there's these filters, which is really cool. This is another great feature of LinkedIn. Yep. You want people in the West, companies, cool.
Industry, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Click all of them.
Yep.
Oh, it has the loading issue. You know what's funny is Facebook used to do this too. Actually, probably still does it.
So this is the not fun part, but do it at like 200 or so.
So just so everybody knows, it does lazy loading is what it's called, where you have to keep on scrolling to the bottom to have it load more. So let's see if it does 200, 180. And you can see, I think I scrolled down 10 times to get the 200.
Not so
210.
fun.
Oh, let me do 210. Is that allowed?
It's good. It's perfect. Yes. So, but you have 1,000 invites a week, right? So, let's say you're doing that 5 days a week. You guys can do math. You got through.
Hmm.
You don't want to bulk shout out to everybody. Like, this is a good trick on LinkedIn. You want to do it gradually.
Okay, so I'll do the 210. I'll keep it at that. I was like 1,000. I could just go 1,000. There we go.
Yeah. And the other thing, just since we're literally doing a workshop on events, I didn't know we were going to do today. Comments. So LinkedIn got rid of this and brought it back. If you're going, let's say, you're live, if you ever go to a LinkedIn event, they're going to tell you, hey, comment on the event page. So they want this comment section to be the event conversation, because they don't have an event chat.
Oh,
Makes
that's interesting.
sense?
So that's kind of their workaround.
This is their workaround, which we all want the event chat, but then it for external events, it doesn't make sense, right? Because I have my event chat on Blue Jeans, or you have it on Zoom or whatever. So, we'll use this comments, we'll say hey, don't forget to register, or whatever it is, make sure whatever. You might have additional things that you want people to remember. Hey, for instance, Blue Jeans, using it on mobile, you need to actually download the app. So we're going to put that in our comments, for instance. So that's kind of an interesting piece. And then of course you see the networking tab and analytics, Mark, which you're not going to have any data right now because nobody's attending, but you'll be able to see all that. And then the analytics, they do have pretty decent analytics, give you some information about the people that are attending, right? Because you could see their industry locations.
Ooh, let's see live. You guys you don't have to come to the event, but if you come on here, then we can see what the analytics actually pull up about you guys.
Yeah, so that one's fun. Just good information for you to know, right? Josh and I are always pleasantly surprised by the people that attend our events. We always think it's going to be this kind of person. And we're like, oh, there was a bunch of founders actually, or a bunch of salespeople. Wow. Of course, attendee means they registered, not necessarily that they showed up.
Okay.
So we have that.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then
we'll forget about this event in a second. But now
that's another thing, y'all. I'm sure most of you have RSVP'd to a LinkedIn event, but when you do, you should get an email with that event and it puts it on your calendar. So it should do that automatically for you, Mark, when you attend. But if not, you could do it directly on that. So that's kind of another, I think, nice feature. And then when people do register and it's added to their calendar, another great just reminder that you don't have to worry about, right? That's not an email you had to send. It came directly from LinkedIn. So there's just a lot of great additional benefits that you get by doing a LinkedIn event.
Nice. No, that sounds fantastic. Well, I always like a center point because it's so, and I actually just had this happen with a friend of mine, because I told him, hey, you guys are launching, you should really do an event to, have something to talk about. That way you're not just, saying we're going to be in business soon or get ready to buy our stuff. You could say, no, come to the launch event or, new product or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I was just looking at the chat, people were, and you see that y'all are commenting. That's great, because we know comments are the fuel of LinkedIn. So when you attend, just showing that you're attending, it's actually have you ever seen that under your kind of network? It'll be oh, Rachel's attending this event, right? And you'll see people. So that's great visibility. So it's a great way to support people, even if you can't make it, to say you're attending and to comment, unless you, of course, don't want to support that person or you don't agree with the event. So caveat. But we love to do that. I'm going to attend yours. Hopefully I can make it. If not, but that helps, right? You, Mark, you getting,
Yes.
when I comment on that, now my network is going to see that I'm associated with Mark and I'm going. So that is, of course, the human algorithm. And that is what Josh and I are all about. Like, that is where the juice is at, real humans supporting each other.
Well, and really what you can see here is everybody who signed up, thank you, by the way. You could send a message directly. It tells you which ones are connections. It doesn't have anything on the analytics yet, but I'm guessing it's just because we just put it up a second ago.
And in the networking, are you're connected to everybody?
For the most part, let me see who am I not connected to. There you go. Now I got to realize who I'm not connected to.
Exactly.
Like,
so right now,
Axel, we're not connected.
great, which is
Oh,
another,
that's cool.
there's another secret tip, y'all, because that's another thing that we do. And with our engagement engine, all the people that attend our events, we go through and say, who am I not connected to? That, and vice versa for Josh and I's accounts. And we send those personalized connections, hey, thank you so much for attending, registering for our event. We really appreciate your support. Great to connect here on LinkedIn. Personalized invite, Mark, which you didn't just do.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't even realize that was an option when I did it. Where did I miss? So I said invite.
So the reason why is because you just did, you have to go to the profile. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
So click out.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. So I should go to each individual and say, hey,
Right,
come to my event.
and this is where things get very time consuming, but you would have gone, see, I'm not connected. You click on that 3 buttons. It might have said, so it said the connect, but you could have gone to his profile, clicked more and sent that personalized invite, which Axel looks like he has a pretty, yeah. And Axel, I guess I would just kind of ask you, why is your account more restricted and requiring emails? You might have very specific reasons for that. That's not something that we are big fans of, because it just kind of, restricts opportunities, especially if you're looking to connect when people have to provide an email or something like that.
So if I was going to invite Stephanie, I would go to her profile, click on more, and then.
Yeah, you already invited her, so she would, that's not a good person
to
show.
Okay, here, let me find something. I'm like, I don't see it.
You need somebody you're not connected to.
Jay, we can invite Jay. More.
You're going to people on your list. You need to go.
Main list.
Yeah.
Go deeper.
Go to my network. Go to my network.
Oh, here to Dominic. I haven't talked to Dominic in a while.
But are you connected? Yeah, your first degree connections. You're not going to see. They all know how to do personalized.
Oh, so none of them. Okay, I see.
Are you trying to show personalized invites?
Yeah.
Then you need to go something you're not connected to.
There we go. I'm connected to everyone. I can't help it.
No, just go to my network.
I'm on your page.
Go to my network at the top. See where you got that's the tab.
Oh, I literally thought you meant your network. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. So here, this guy's trying to connect with you. Go to his profile. Well, it's actually, this might not work, but you could see accept. But normally, that might not be a great example again, but y'all know how to do, just go to somebody random.
There we go.
Random, yeah, here's somebody random. Here's a random person. Whew, God.
More.
When you go to connect, so in this scenario, the connect button's right there. Click it. And this says add a note.
Gotcha. And now you do.
Yeah. So depending on how close the connection is, sometimes we'll just say connect and then you do the personalized invite. And if you're on mobile, you always have to go to the 3 dots and personalize it. And on mobile, you're always going to have to take extra steps to do a personalized invite. But here at StandOut Authority, we really, really never like to send an invite without a personalized request message, because honestly, it helps me remember. I send personalized invites to be like, hey, so-and-so, I met you on, Digital Marketer Agency Talk. Thanks for being there. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the guy from, Axel from Digital Marketer. Now I remember that conversation. It helps me as almost like a CRM.
Oh, I like that. And then you would you put a link to the event in this as you're connecting, or?
No, you just say something nice.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying you were giving me a tip on how to invite more people to the event, but you're
Oh.
saying connect with more people and then invite them to the event.
Well, those are two different things, right? So let's say if you're gonna invite somebody cold, what we were showing was you had somebody RSVP'd for your event that you were not connected to. So in that scenario, you want to send that person personalized invite and say, hey, so-and-so, you're registered to attend my event in a few weeks. I'm really excited, really appreciate you being there, right? And just at least say that. Thank you. Appreciate them. That's it. Just, that's the beginning. Let them respond. Let them say something back to you. Yeah, I'm really excited, you're going to talk about AI, whatever, then they might say something, or maybe you want to get some questions from the audience, Mark. Maybe they say, yeah, I'm really excited to hear from you, Mark. And you're like, hey, while I have you, do you have any questions, things that are, that you'd like me to ask, right? Like you're just creating human conversation, but that personalized invite helps start that versus a blank invite.
No, it totally makes sense. Well, and just so everybody knows, I now have 12 attendees coming to my event. So this totally worked. You could do it at the same time if you wanted to. But no, it's been great. And it's very simple. And like I said before, it's like if you try to set this up using like a Zoom registration and then all these different things, like you wouldn't get to take advantage of LinkedIn like this, where it just happens automatically. And you could literally be having a conversation while you're building an event and inviting a bunch of people to it. That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, this was like an amazing event workshop we did today here, Mark.
No, well, I love doing that stuff. That's actually my favorite thing to do when I have experts on. I'm like, hey, well, why don't we just do it right now? And then, you get to show everything, because it's one thing to, give a tutorial or courses like we do. It's another when you can be like, here's how fast and easy it is. Yes. And don't overthink it.
100%.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. This has been fantastic as usual. Really appreciate you helping me set up my event. I'm sure it'll be successful, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Where can people learn more about you and what you do?
LinkedIn, of course. Hopefully, y'all will check me out on my profile, that is, and send me a personalized invite. Be great to connect with each of you on LinkedIn. Of course, I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well, all the Rachel B. Lee. And then we are at StandOutAuthority.com. So all of our information's on there, whether you want to work with us one-on-one or you're interested in our StandOut Authority experience coming up. Just let us know, hit us up. We're really excited to be here and appreciate DigitalMarketer's support of us, me and Josh, and what we're doing. So thank you.
Well, you guys are doing fantastic. And I love the human to human, like that's literally, I just refer to you guys all the time whenever I say it, because I'm like, I didn't make that up, but it's awesome. So we really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Amazing. And thank you, Michelle. Do you know Michelle and I were in a women's group together a few years ago? So I just love
it's a small world.
Cool. So thank you, Michelle, for helping and everything. And thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for attending. This has been Agencies Talk. We meet every single Friday. And if you're interested, go ahead and join my event that I have to now write and make up what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to do what I always do, which is do crap live and hope it goes well. Wing it. No, that's not what it's called. Professional procrastination combined with instant delivery.
I've done that before.
I'll have to ask ChatGPT.
It happens as long as it works out. Axel saw me do it once.
Exactly.
Meta interviewed me. It wasn't an interview. They expected a workshop, and I found out when he was like, here's what we're doing today. Take it away, Michelle.
Wow.
Made
there
it
you
up on
go.
the spot.
See?
Use DigitalMarketer's customer avatar. But thank you, everybody, for attending today. Thank you to Rachel. Please tune in next week where we'll be sitting down with Katerina Gassett. She is one of our certified partners, and she's going to be coming on and talking about delegation and basically how it makes your life so much better. All right. Have a great day, y'all, and fantastic weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, y'all.